And again, thank you. I welcome you to Team Agreements. And this is our very first virtual summit dedicated solely to vision. And so we're going to be talking about using your vision to transform every area of your life and the importance and how that impacts everything you do, including what you think and your behaviors. My name is Deidre Harris, and I'm going to be your co-host or your host pretty much for the next 2 days. Our summit will be running today from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock p.m. Here in Coast, and tomorrow is as well from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And joining me is my trusty sidekick, Valerie Gilbert. She's going to be supporting us on the back end, so I'm going to thank her in advance for all the work she's going to be supporting us with. If you have any questions or technical difficulties, please feel free to reach out, and she'll do her best to support you. And so, welcome again to Team Agreements. What we do is training and coaching dedicated to leadership development. And we specialize in all of the things that you see on the screen here today. We specialize in leadership refinement, vision alignment, team calibration and gap analysis, as well as effective communication and accountability and cultural humility. Some of my people who we just did a training with, Ms. Sharon, is on the line with us. And so that is fantastic. Glad to have her with us. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome, welcome to our virtual summit. I'm Deidre Harris. This summit is totally dedicated to vision alignment. And so we're going to be spending the next 2 days talking with a lot of different speakers about how vision shows up in their life, whether it's personal and or professional. So we get to really start thinking about what is vision and how can we really use it to support us. And so here's what I'm going to ask you to think about is the idea that a truly successful life begins with a compelling vision. And I want you to think about that word because we've underlined the word compelling, because we don't want just any vision. We want something that is so big that it's bigger than ourselves. So when we think about a compelling vision, we're talking about, hey, it's so big that we go to bed thinking about it, and that it's so big we dream about it at night, or that it's so big it's the first thing you think about when you get up in the morning, or that it's so big that it motivates you to take on the world. You got this. And that it's so big it allows you to ignore all of the critics, even your own inner critic. And of course, that it's so big, it invites other people to join us that can't wait to be a part of it. So I want you to take a look at this list, and I want you to think about your vision. Again, whether it's a personal vision, whether it's a professional vision, and I want you to ask yourself, is my vision compelling? Does it pull me forward? Does it invite everyone else in? Is it something that I think of regularly? And I don't just mean at the end of the month or the year or at the beginning of the new year when we're jumping into our resolutions, but I'm talking about every day and during the day. Where does your vision stand in your life? And I want to share an example with you, one that we're all very familiar with. That's right. Martin Luther King Jr. He had a dream, a vision. He didn't get up and talk about his goals, his action plan, what he's going to do. He talked about his vision. I have a dream. It is so well known that many people around the world know about it, not just in the Americas. And so when we talk about a compelling vision, look at the Mall of the Americas, which is in front of him, and you can see all of those people. His vision was so compelling that it invited everyone in. We call it enrolling. He enrolled everybody, so many people, not every single person, but so many people shared his vision, and he had all of those people help to lift that vision and move it forward. That is an example of a compelling vision. And so I would like to share my vision with you. Oh, let me go back here. For those of you who don't know me, I work in the early childhood field, which means I get to work with the babies, infant, toddlers, preschoolers, up into lower elementary, first, second grade, kindergarten as well. I love children. I absolutely love children. And in fact, I love the way they play. I love the way they sing. I love the way they dance. I love the way they figure out things as they learn. I love children. And for that reason, my vision is that going forward, every single young child gets to step into some type of educational environment that is staffed by highly qualified and passionate people. Highly qualified and passionate. That's my vision. And so I'm going to invite you to step into the chat and go ahead and write in your vision. And I'm going to give us a minute here to do this. And for those of you who are watching the replay, I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Don't skip over this part. This summit is totally about you. And so I'm encouraging you to step into your vision and share it with us today. Write your vision into the chat. And I'm going to give us about 30 more seconds. Keep going. Thank you, Luz. I appreciate that. Luz shared with us is that her vision is to be a life coach. It has been in her heart for a very long time. I love it. Thank you, Luz. Who else? And so here's the thing, and I encourage you to consider this as feedback. One, it might be that you're not sure about your vision and it might not be that clear. Oh, Sharon wrote in. Thank you, Sharon. Her vision is to make the world a better place to live, showing respect for everyone and everything. Great visions, compelling. And now, Luz, Sharon, you get to go out and declare that to the people around you. You've declared it to us and enroll them in your vision. Get people to support you in that. What does that look like? What community can you gather around you to help you do that? I'd love to hear more about your vision. Reach out to me. Let me know what that is. And for those of you who are just joining us today, thank you. I'm so glad you're with us. I'm glad that you're joining us for Team Agreement's very first summit dedicated totally to vision and the impact that vision has on our life. I just got done sharing my vision. Several people have also stepped in and shared their vision. Thank you very much. And as I was saying, if you're not clear about your vision, then it's really easy for us to get pulled off track because we're not sure of our direction. There's a great quote out there that says, if you don't know where you're going, How do you know when you get there? That's vision. And when we're not clear on our vision, sometimes we can get pulled into other people's vision and actually lose where we are in our life. I often hear that as I'm coaching people in groups. Here's what I'm also going to say, just like I suggested to Luce and to Sharon, go out there and declare your vision. So for those of you who are with us and haven't shared yet, I still encourage you to share. When you declare your vision, you are casting it out, and it allows the community, and right now it's us, to come around and support you. Stephanie, I love it. Thank you. Her vision is to help children and also adults who work with children and parents. Stephanie, I love this vision. And here's what I'm going to encourage you, if I can, to do is I want you to make that vision really specific. What does that look like when you say help children and also help adults? The more specific you get, it's going to be your guiding post. And this isn't just for Stephanie, it's for the rest of us as well. We want our visions to be so specific that it's clear. We know exactly what we're doing. We know exactly where we're going. And that's what we get to do today with our summit. So here's what you can expect. One thing is we're going to have really great interviews. As I said, we've got a great line of different people coming from different industries. And so I want us to see how vision shows up and impacts our life in all areas, not just in one or two categories. So I'm going to encourage you to shut off your notifications on your phone, your messenger programs, and spend this time thinking about you and your vision. Also, and for those of you who've already done this, don't forget to jump into the chat. Post your thoughts, post your questions. Some of our interviews are going to be recorded because we had to go ahead and reschedule. And so some people weren't able to join us live. Most of our interviews are live. So again, I encourage you to jump in and share your thoughts and questions then as well. Grab that pen and paper because I guarantee you different things are going to pop up for you. Different things are going to come to mind. Make a note of that so that you can go back and reflect again on your vision. And there's going to be lots of opportunities to engage. So not only here with us, but again, if you're not able to stay the whole time with us, I'll be sending out the replay within the next 1 or 2 days. So probably between Thursday and Friday, the replay will be done for both days. You'll be able to jump back in and watch those interviews that you might not have been able to stay for or missed. So stay with us. We're going to have fun. Also, what I want to do is I want to invite you to a 1-hour masterclass that's going to be happening this Saturday at 9 o'clock on Zoom. And Valerie's going to go ahead and post that link into the chat box or registration link. So grab that, click on that link in the chat box, and you can go ahead and sign up for the masterclass this Saturday. We're going to be talking about characteristics of a vision. We're going to be talking about what derails us from our vision. And we're going to be spending a lot of time creating that vision. And for those of you who need it, of course, there'll be a certificate at the end so that you can actually get credit for being here with us. So again, go ahead and click in the chat, the URL for that registration. And here's a little bit what you can expect.
If you could design your ideal life, what would it look like? What would you do every day? And how would your body feel and move? Where would you live? And where would you go? Who would you spend your time with? Who would you love and how? And the real question is, are you living this ideal life right now? And are you who you truly want to be? Or are you struggling with finding direction, chasing goals that don't belong to you? No matter what your life looks like right now, you have the absolute power to turn it into a real masterpiece. You just need to get clear on what your masterpiece looks like. You just need a clear vision for your life. Lifebook helps you create that vision and rediscover who you truly are and what you really want across all 12 dimensions of your life. If you hear a quiet voice within telling you that you can do more,
Oh, what did I do? There we go.
be more, live more, then I invite you to create your very own Lifebook today.
So come and join me on Saturday, and we get to talk about what your vision would look like and how you can create your very own life book that is solely about vision itself. Okay, so again, thank you very much for joining us. And here's what you get to expect as we go forward. On Saturday, we'll be talking a little bit about all 12 of our categories. And right before we begin with our very first speaker, here's what I'm going to ask you to consider and think about. Again, as you listen to the speakers, I want you to think about your vision on your emotional life. I want you to think about your vision on your parenting, or think about your vision as it relates to your social life. Where does your vision come in for your love relationships? And don't forget that vision impacts your career. That's one we all get to think about, as well as our finances. Yes, vision plays a role there as well. And many of us don't think about our character. Who do we get to be in order for our vision to come forward? And how will our health and fitness impact our ability to do our vision? What knowledge do we want to be and get? And of course, spiritually, energetically, where do we get to be in order for our vision to come forward? And so again, I'd like to say welcome to using your vision to transform every area of your life. The next couple of hours will be great as we talk to each of our speakers.